Bobby, aka Anarcha Media here, and in this video I would like to talk about Jessie Gender and her recent videos on media and the representation of revolutionary movement and anti-fascism, and where I think she very much gets anti-fascism and revolution wrong. Now, I like a lot of Jessie Gender's content. I agree with a lot of her views on J.K. Rowling, trans rights, the media's ineffective treatment of marginalized communities such as the trans community and the neurodivergent community. So I agree with her on a lot, but like many marginalized liberals, she seems to have certain blind spots when it comes to recognizing the sheer severity of the harm that fascism does. And the irony is, she recognizes readily, for obvious reasons, the harm that transphobes and quote-unquote gender-critical feminists do. And I very much agree that those are valid harms to consider. However, by the same token, fascism and the increasing normativization of fascism is also a harm that contributes to other harms, such as the normativization of harm towards non-whites, the normativization of harm towards non-straights, the normativization of harm towards trans people, the normativization of harm towards neurodivergent people, which Jessie Gender and I both are. And a lot of her essays on media, like, they seem to come, ironically enough, from a sort of very sort of like both sidesy, centrist, liberal lens that I quite frankly see as very much outdated, especially at a time when fascist attacks are accelerating and being normativized at extreme speeds that are virtually unprecedented in recent American history. But of course, if you're part of the anti-fascist community like myself, and you've noticed a lot of these trends during the Tea Party movement, during the sort of Koch brother pseudo astroturf, pseudo grassroots movement of these elite corporate think tanks masquerading as grassroots movements of resistance against high taxes and things of that nature, which have essentially served to renormalize talk of segregation and lost cause, masquerading as appeals for small government, which essentially is meant to leave people especially marginalized people, non-white people who are, and neurodivergent people such as myself, as well as trans people and gay people who need to rely on food stamps and government assistance for their basic needs and livelihoods, basically leave them in the dust under this banner of free market tranquility, right? And it's it's a giant grift, it's a giant scam, and it does real harm. And Jessie Gender doesn't seem to recognize the level of that harm the way she should, quite frankly. And this is problematic because obviously we've seen that when fascists get into power, it hurts everybody. It hurts the trans community, it hurts the neurodivergent community, it hurts black people, it hurts brown people, it hurts immigrants, it hurts everybody. Even white people who don't conform to white supremacy are also harmed, right? So just because I am white passing, I would still be classified as a race traitor because I oppose Islamophobia, because I oppose transphobia, homophobia, and the normativization of harm towards immigrants by ICE. And the ironic thing is a lot of these people claim to be Christians when Yeshua himself was very much a refugee who was speaking out for refugees, for the poor, for those who were in need of assistance that the empire and the government would not provide because they were seen as belonging to lesser faiths, belonging to lesser ethnicities, and so on. Bobby A.K., Anarchic Media, Liberty, Equality, Fraternity, goodbye.